Hello there.
Welcome back, my friend.
Hello, what have we here?
Jedi, we've been expecting you.
Knew I could count on you.
Hello.
Welcome to the rebellion.
What fun!
What is up, everyone? Hybrid here, and today I just want to recap some of the reveals from CCXP Mexico 2026. The Hasbro Star Wars team was there revealing some new products, and, it really wasn't that big a reveal. They did a similar reveal last year where they went and it was only like one thing for each line. And, I guess I've got like a whole bunch of thoughts. So I have two very conflicting approaches on this. There's like one thing that I really like, one thing that I don't really like, right? There's a part of me that thinks if Hasbro is going to take representatives and send them to a Comic Con, CCXP is like one of the biggest ones in Mexico. It's like their New York or SDCC. It's a pretty good sized event. And to send the Hasbro team there, well, why are we going so light? Like, I'm not asking you to come reveal 10 figures or whatever, but like, one figure is a very light reveal. Like, it's not worth the airfare of the Hasbro employees at that point, in my opinion. So there's like that side, but then there's another part of me that's like, hey, we've kind of been getting bombarded with product lately anyway, so maybe a light reveal isn't the worst either. So we got, as mentioned, one figure from each line and a role play item. So let me go ahead and buzz through them. Um, I will ultimately say, not a lot of good in my opinion. I mean, probably the best thing here is the Vintage Collection Devon Azara from Mall Shadow Lord, which has been a great show so far. I am really loving Shadow Lord. I've had so much fun with this show. And getting Devon in the line is a great way to get the TVC collectors to quit screaming, "Balance the scales, Hasbro!" So hopefully we don't have to hear about that too much more. We're starting to level out the playing field between the Vintage Collection and Black Series on the character selection there. But, it says retail price $19.99, fall 2026 with pre-order details coming soon. Man, vintage figures are up to $20. That's still hard to wrap my mind around. But she looks really, really good, and it looks like a great head sculpt. You wouldn't ever say that they like shrunk a Black Series sculpt, but I'd argue that it looks almost as good as the Black Series sculpt. Of course, these are I believe these photos of Devon are a render, so that might be benefiting her a little bit, but she is coming with her cloak. She has a lit and unlit lightsaber, and just looks really, really good. Working our way up from there, they are doing a Black Series Force Effects Elite Darth Maul lightsaber, and my thoughts in general on these Force Effects Elites: Hasbro, save your money, quit wasting your time on these. They are so garbage. I do not like these Force Effects Elite lightsabers, and ultimately here's why. They have to manufacture them in a way that is up to industry toy standards. The hilts are always too chunky. The electronic features are not impressive, and for the price of $269, you could pick up a NeoPixel lightsaber from any of these online retailers and just have better features, brighter LEDs, a more accurate hilt, and it's just these are garbage. These Hasbro Force Effects Elite lightsabers are just garbage. And then they're like, well, we finally added a feature where you push a button and some of the LEDs turn white to mimic like a clash or a blaster deflection. Like, okay, you're about 15 years late to the party on that, but good for you, Hasbro, I guess. And then at the end of the day, it's still just half of Darth Maul's lightsaber, so you're going to want to buy a second one. It comes with a coupler to put them together into the saber staff mode. So for $550 right about, you can have a really crappy Darth Maul double-bladed lightsaber. It's just not worth it. I mean, there's a reason every one of these hits deep discount. Like, just go buy the NeoPixel if you've been waiting to buy a Darth Maul lightsaber. So I hate being the negative guy, but these are just, I'm a little bit of a snob when it comes to my lightsaber replicas, if you will. And then here's the one that should be the most exciting to me, and truthfully, I will pick it up no matter what, but it is this is a mouthful, Star Wars The Black Series, Imperial Remnant Warlord, and Polar Mouse Droid. That's like a lot going on there. This is going to be a Target exclusive available this summer for a retail price of $27.99. I can pre-order it. We can pre-order it April 30th at 1 p.m. at Target. If you feel there is any chance of this selling out, you can pre-order it. It's not going to. So, all right. Let me get into the niceties, right? I am mega into the Mandalorian and Grogu hype right now. I am loving all these trailers we're getting. I'm so excited. The midnight, premiere, for the ticket. I have tickets for the midnight premiere the day before, and I'm here for it. But then I look at this figure, right? And the Remnant Warlord wasn't high on my want list, but I don't not want him because we have all of these Remnant Stormtroopers, and I think they would look great together on a shelf. You got this guy bossing his soldiers around. So, I'm completely here for it. So this guy has a new torso because he's a little bit of a bigger guy. He has a nice head sculpt. I think we see this guy for one shot in the trailer. I think is a passive enough likeness. He has that big wool overcoat, and it's all in soft goods, and that looks really good, actually. And the one nice thing it does is it covers up some of the figure, because for whatever reason, they have gone and reused the old Imperial officer arms and legs. Hasbro, what are you doing? Why did you spend all that money on new tooling for Grand Admiral Thrawn last year to make new pinless legs and arms for Grand Admiral Thrawn? And then you're going to dig deep and reuse these ancient limbs from the archive? What are you doing? I'm not asking you to reinvent the wheel here. I'm completely fine with smart reuse. Reuse the better ones. What are you doing? Why are these getting dredged back up after all this time? The only good thing going on here is this soft goods coat is going to cover those so you don't see them. And if there's ever a figure for the Mando and Grogu movie to cheap out on, I guess this would be the one. But what are you doing, Hasbro? I mean, get rid of this mold. Go to the factory, get this mold out of storage, and chuck it. Never do this again. There was a discussion with me and some friends. We were on Xbox last night talking about this figure. And, with these price increases, every price increase, every time the figures go up $1 or $2, this kind of thing becomes less acceptable. And I stand by that wholeheartedly, where, if these figures are going to be nearly $30, you need to start using the right reuse. Reuse the Thrawn legs. Never use these legs again, Hasbro. I mean, seriously, it'd be like them saying, hey, we're going to, make a new clone trooper, a popular, character, maybe some named 501st, and then they roll out on the 2013 clone trooper mold. No, we would riot, and we should if that ever happened. This is just garbage reuse. So, really not keen on that. I will pick it up. I ultimately want the representation on the shelf, so I'm not really helping the problem here. But in my review, I will shred it. I have no other choice. And it comes with the Polar Mouse Droid, so, it's, you're buying it for the Mouse Droid, I guess. But, yeah, I like myself a Mouse Droid, so I guess I will be buying this for the Mouse Droid. But otherwise, those were the CCXP reveals. And again, it's you send your Star Wars team to Mexico, and you reveal 2 action figures and a lightsaber. Okay, cool, I guess. I figured my guess going into this, talking with friends, I was I bet they show us something from Mando and Grogu. I was correct there, but I was we're gonna see that deluxe Zeb that's rumored or something. They're gonna show us something kind of cool. And instead we got 12-year-old legs Imperial officer and a crappy lightsaber that no one should buy, and arguably a pretty based TVC figure. So, you win some, you lose some, I suppose. But what are your thoughts? Are any of these pickups for you? Am I spitting? Am I being way too critical? Fire off in the comments down below. Thank you for listening to a toy collector ramble for about 10 minutes. I'm going to go work on something else now. May the Force be with you, and I will catch you next time. Until then, have a good one. Bye.